Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. I am your host, Matt Brandon. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday, and wow, what a freaking Friday do we have? All right, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to get through. We're definitely gonna recap Dynamite. I'm gonna try to go somewhat fast. All right, I probably won't, but I'm gonna try to. Got to recap TNA Impact from last night. Hell of a show, TNA Impact last night. And I want to set the tone tonight for SmackDown, WWE Smackdown tonight, as we get ready for the go home show, as we get ready for tomorrow, right? And tomorrow, guys, let's just call it what it is. This is the biggest freaking Royal Rumble of all time. All right. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'm a Royal Rumble guy anyway. I've always loved the innovation of the Royal Rumble. I mean, even going back to the original one, man. First off, who doesn't like Hacksaw Jim Duggan? But like, even back like the first time, you thought, man, this is special. How often do you get to see everybody coming down at periodical different times? Because back then we had battle royals, but everybody started in the match at the same time. Now you progress it, in 92 when we progress it and we see individuals coming down the aisle. And now in modern times, you have the walkout music and the countdown, and there's so much glamour and glitz and everything that goes with this. So I'm going to be honest, Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view, my favorite PLE. It always has been. And this one for me, I don't know why, but it's so special. I think it's going to be one of the best shows we've seen of the year. It kicks off our road to WrestleMania season. If you can't get into that, I can't help you, especially with everything that the WWE has going on right now. But we'll get through some SmackDown. SmackDown is going to be your typical show before the PLE tonight. We're going to have a little bit of everything. And I've said this before, sometimes when you get a situation like this where you have the huge PLE the night after, that night before, you're probably going to get a hell of a show. And one of the reasons I like to say this is because you're going to be dealing with people on this show that might not have a big role in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. So guess what? They're going to want to go out and show out too and try to make their money. So again, it's going to be a great weekend. We have so much to talk about. I will do a Saturday short tomorrow. I'll recap SmackDown, obviously, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time because I really want to focus on the Royal Rumble. We'll do the slow burn picks tomorrow, our predictions. I'm feeling pretty freaking good about this, guys. I will tell you, I have everything real quick. Boom, boom, all of it right there. And we are going to go over everything, how I think this is going to turn out. I will probably miss, and it doesn't matter because there's so many possibilities. It's going to be wonderful. So with all of that said, almost 3 minutes in or something like that, and I finally am going to talk about Dynamite. All right. First off, it was a busy week already. And the busier week gets busier. And everybody knows that, like, the big WWE PLEs kind of take over a week. And by the way, if you haven't seen how they've taken over Indianapolis right now, you really should get on to the old interwebs and see what you can come up. I mean, they changed the freaking street names. All right, they changed the street names to WWE. If you can't get behind Yeet Street or Cody Road, then just leave me the hell alone. All right, but AEW Dynamite, it was, smack dab in the middle of a crazy freaking week. We had an awesome Raw. NXT was up and down. It wasn't bad. And then we come into AEW. Yesterday prior, I was excited for AEW. I thought the card looked solid. I had mentioned that a little bit on our broadcast on Monday about how I kind of felt that this Dynamite might be a really good show, and they needed a rebound show, in my opinion. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, it wasn't as bad as maybe some of them have been. I shouldn't say bad. It wasn't as disappointing to me as maybe the week before show was. When we had the Omega Ospreay debacle at the front that and by the way, there are people that are saying they really liked that. I'm going to stand by my thing. It was not good. All right. It was what it was. We got to see two of the greatest wrestlers in the world not capitalized. So, but they did progress this story on Dynamite. All right. And matter of fact, that's kind of how I expected this whole thing to go down. And we opened up with that, with Will Ospreay versus the Swolverine, the Machine, Brian Cage. Guys, Brian Cage is fun. All right. He's one of the biggest, strongest dudes. Seeing him in person, by the way, changes your opinion of him because he moves a lot better sometimes than what he gets credit for. But, Also, having him in there with the aerial assassin with Will Ospreay kind of changes the game too, because Will Ospreay's not a little dude to fly and stuff like he does. You put somebody like Wolverine in there that can kind of manhandle him a little bit, it only progresses that match. It only makes the match that much more talented. So the match was good. I thought the match actually had some very big high notes. From both sides of it. I really enjoyed Don Callis on commentary. By the way, Don Callis right now as a heel is one of the bigger heels that we have going. 2 months ago, I would have said that Christian was doing some of the best heel work in all of the business right now. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to put Don Callis on that and the Callis family. And I'm enjoying what he's bringing. And also, when you know that connection that he has with Kenny Omega, and you know that connection that he has with Will Ospreay, it only grows that story. And I can't wait to see where this story goes. I'll just call it what it is. Yeah, it had some bad moments, but at the same time, it gives me something to kind of lock onto. And honestly, like I said, this match between Cage and Ospreay was solid. It was very good up and down. Post match, you kind of figured what was going to happen. You got the beat down. Of course, Kenny Omega comes in. The cleaner comes in. He's going to make the save. He ends up getting beat down as well. I thought that the ending segment went a little long. I thought the beatdown they stretched it a little bit, and maybe they needed some filler. I don't know. Why not make one of their matches go a little longer? But at the same time, I just thought it kind of, I don't know, at the end, it just kind of crept a little bit. But I will say this. Even though it got long, the ending of it was perfect, all right? With Will Ospreay draping himself over Kenny Omega's lifeless body to protect him from further attack. That's storytelling right there. All right. And the emotion that was on Ospreay's face, it was legit concern. And that's how you play the game. And I think that because of that spot and because of what we saw there at Grand Slam, all right, which is coming up next week, or I'm sorry, week after that, on the 15th, at Grand Slam, we are going to see an absolute masterpiece unfold in this match between Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher versus the cleaner Kenny Omega and the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. So like I said, we're going to get some special stuff out of that. And because they built that so well in that match with Brian Cage, it really got me more excited for it. And I know not everybody's into this story or whatever, but I think that there's a lot of possibility there. But that brings us to the next section. All right. Guys, I have been very, very open about the fact that I'm not a fan of what they're doing right now with Jeff Jarrett. The Double J stuff right now, going after Moxley, this one last title run. It's all good for nostalgia, but at the same time, I just feel like, all right, we got the Cena retirement run going on over in WWE. Why are we doing a Jeff Jarrett run in AEW? I think you should try to distance yourself from the retirement game. Just throw freaking matches out there. But the Jeff Jarrett Claudio Castagnoli match was, let's just call it what it is. It was not good. It was not a good wrestling match. And these are two of the best wrestlers that have ever lived. Claudio is a freaking powerhouse. But I thought the timing was off. The timing didn't work for me. The match, my note, it says, well, exactly what I expected. Now we got the MJF run-in that came in, and honestly, you kind of had an idea MJF's going to talk his smack, and then he ends up piling on. He beats up Jeff Jarrett. It's not working for me. It's just not working. You have MJF, who might be the best pure heat-getting heel that exists in professional wrestling today. Okay? And for some reason, we are going to boot him up with Jeff Jarrett. Explain to me how this is doing any services for MJF. And again, I'm sorry, and nothing but respect for professional wrestling and everything that goes into it, but this is not good storytelling. Okay. Now, I will say this. We had another interaction backstage with MJF and Hangman Adam Page. Give that to me. All right. Let's swerve off of this Jarrett shit and give me Hangman versus MJF. Let's have Hangman going back to his babyface style with some cowboy shit, and then have that true awesome throwdown between two former AEW champions that are both trying to climb that ladder in order to get another title shot. Because right now, both of them are on the outside looking in. What better way to get both of them in the title freaking picture than to put them up with one another, creating a number one contender series, something. But like, you have possibilities with that story. But then all of a sudden we're going back to JEFF, JARRETT, and like, come on. Stop it. MJF deserves better. And honestly, Jeff Jarrett, you're a freaking legend. I follow you. I know we've had some conversations on Facebook, and I've enjoyed it. And you're one of my all-time favorite heels. And Slapnuts is one of the greatest things that ever happened in wrestling. But like, you deserve better than this too. And honestly, I think that there's so much negative criticism coming with this storyline. I think we need to boost it if something is going to happen. If not, let's get out of it and let's maybe let these guys shine somewhere else. Man, Jeff Jarrett could do so much for these younger wrestlers right now. I mean, give me Jeff Jarrett, Max Caster right now. Give me that. Like that to me, young guy trying to come up, old guy. I'm not saying like they have to fight each other constantly, but a mentorship. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws because I don't like negative Jeff Jarrett, but this isn't working. So, what else did we have? Ricochet took on AR Fox. It was a hell of a match. A little throwback to Lucha Underground. We enjoyed that. A little Prince Puma action. It was a decent match. It was fun. Anytime you get AR Fox in a match, it's fun. He's so good. I think he's still one of the lead trainers at the Nightmare Factory, which is Cody's wrestling school. I think. I'm not exactly sure on that anymore. I know QT Marshall's a big part of it. But anytime AR's in the ring, he's going to go. He gives you ultimate energy. And honestly, him and Ricochet really, they dance well together. And I enjoyed the match. I thought, though, at the end where we had the interaction with Swerve, Prince Nana coming in, right? When we had that, Swerve looked fucking strong. Swerve looks so strong right now. Can we not give him a fucking belt? Like, this dude has the capability to carry this company. All right? I'm going to just say it. I don't think right now, outside of maybe MJF, and a guy, I'm a powerhouse Hobbs guy. You guys know that. I want Hobbs to get every push in the universe right now. But I mean, seriously, guys, Swerve is AEW, and everything he is doing right now is excellent. I mean, even coming off the series with the loss, he loses to Moxley, and look at what happens. We continue to grow. And honestly, the Ricochet feud is working. It is. It's working. And hell, Ricochet might be the biggest heel going on, especially in AEW. I'm really looking forward to see what happens, especially at the Atlanta show when he takes on Swerve, when they're going to be back in Atlanta. I'm trying to get tickets to that. I'm trying to win tickets to that, actually. But like, I'm so excited to see that match, and I have a feeling Atlanta is going to hammer down, bring your toilet paper, people. We all know what Prince Puma, Trevor, does with his toilet paper. So, like, dude, I'm here for it. And, honestly, 3 weeks ago, I was done with this feud, and I was ready to move on. So I'm a man that can admit when I'm wrong. And this story is going somewhere. So thank you. I'll take it, whatever. But damn it, put a freaking belt on Swerve Strickland. I need Swerve Moxley. Let's get through this. Give me Swerve Moxley. Moxley couldn't freaking carry Swerve friggin' briefcase right now. So I almost said bat bag. I almost harkened back to baseball right there. So I thought the match was good. Like I said, the Swerve interaction was the best part of it. Swerve looks very, very strong. What else did we have? We had another New York Minute, obviously. Jericho and the Learning Tree. It was okay. Anytime Jericho has a mic in his hand, gold is going to happen. I want to say this, though. Jericho kind of got a little aggressive and called Big Bill out, called the Redwood out. Too much man, as they say. And Jericho really almost went to that evil Jericho, not the, hi guys. It's happening. We are going to get huge jerk off Chris Jericho very soon, and I'm going to tell you that's my favorite Chris Jericho. So, and I'm here for every Jericho, but give this to me. If we could get Jericho Big Bill, oh my God, like that would be so great. And it's a way to get Jericho back on TV even more. And anytime Jericho's on TV, I'm happy. So there you go. One other thing I want to say about that is we're still pushing Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs. Feed me more. All right, feed me more. We don't get a lot of monster v monster matches today. We just don't. And you're seeing two of the biggest monsters in AEW. I'll take Powerhouse Hobbs over just about anybody. Going right now as far as big guys, big, strong, medium in. But like at the end of the day, like give me more Big Bill Powerhouse Hobbs. That's what we need here. But Jay White, I've always said it, guys. Jay White could freaking wrestle a broomstick, and I'm going to applaud it. All right. Jay White could have a freaking 3.5-star match with a broomstick. So, and I thought his match versus Yuta was okay. I thought that honestly, Wheeler Yuta came out looking decent because of Jay White. Jay White makes everyone look great. He sells better than just about anybody. His chops are good as just about anybody. The way he delivers the Blade Runner, I mean, it's just the theatrics of it. I just don't think, and I'm always for Guns Up, right? I'm always for Bullet Club. So, like, give me more Jay White, but let's put him in something else. Like right now, he just seems so secondary in this story with the Death Riders. It's like, oh, okay, we're wrestling Jay White, but at the end of the day, this is really all about the Death Riders and Rated FTR. Maybe we're going to get more of that. I think we're going to get a Jay White tag with Rated FTR coming up soon. But I mean, the bottom line on this is the story isn't awful, but I think Jay White deserves better because I mean, outside of Swerve, there's no one better in that organization right now in ring than Jay White, and I feel like he deserves more. And man, I have been bitter about the fact that they've dropped the ball with Jay White since day one of him coming in. That guy should have been in a title picture as soon as he walked in those doors. If you know his New Japan work, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And honestly, Jay White almost was WWE bound. And there's a big part of me right now that's like, man, what could he have done in NXT? And would he already be on the main roster? And what would we be getting? I mean, I could see him having a U.S. title or an IC title right now. And if we got like a little Bullet Clubbish, I would be okay with that too. So anyway, Rated FTR comes out in the run out to save Jay White with Cope, Dax, and Cash. Solid setup. Solid setup. I think the real question you get here is, does Rated FTR trust Jay White? And we could get a little more action with that. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how this is going to really map out. But I really think we're pushing for Cope and Moxley. I mean, we all know that. We're getting Cope and Moxley. And I mean, how can you be mad about it, really? I mean, anytime you're going to get Edge versus freaking Dean Ambrose, I mean, how you get upset with that? Two of the best in the world. So we'll take it. Main event for Dynamite was amazing. It was amazing. Mercedes Moné versus Yuka Sakazaki. Mercedes is showing lately why she is the best female wrestler in AEW and maybe in the world. She's definitely one of the greatest of all time. She's up there with anyone you want to mention. Charlotte, Bailey. I mean, you go back, Medusa, Wendy Richter. I mean, you can go on and on. Moolah, Mae Young. I mean, you got to put Mercedes in this conversation, and she put on an absolute show last night. I put here that Yuka actually was very fun. I enjoyed her, and I would have no problem watching this match again. Give me a rematch of that. Yuka won that number one contender with the, I forget what was it, like a fatal four-way or something like that, but like she earned that. Maybe now give her another shot. She was fun, and I'm not always a huge fan of the smaller women wrestlers like that because I think it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And Mercedes was the bigger girl in that, and that never happens, by the way. But I just thought that they really worked well together. I'm not sure if they've ever wrestled each other before. I need to look that up. But it was great. The main event was fantastic. I thought that Mercedes is amazing, and thank you. And I will say, I have been very underwhelmed with Mercedes' run so far. So, overall, not bad. I scored the show a C+. I was going to score it a C, and I added the plus there at the end because it wasn't bad. It was above average, slightly above average. So TNA is a completely different story, though, guys. Last night, TNA, solid B. Wow, another win for TNA. And I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Tommy freaking Dreamer, man, the innovator of violence. What you're doing right now with that roster and the stories, like, keep coming. Keep coming. But I want to see more live events. But overall, great show. We opened up with Nick Nemeth. Ryan comes down. I'm loving the my brother. That's good. Ryan Nemeth on the mic is solid. I don't care for him as much in the ring. I watch his brother all day long in the ring. But I thought overall it wasn't a bad segment. I'm interested in it. We had AJ Francis come down, and again, I'm a huge AJ Francis guy. Remember him as Top Dollar in the WWE. A huge social media interaction too with AJ Francis. So try to check that out if you get a chance. Does a lot. He really does. But they set up that match. I thought it was good, and that's going to be your main event coming up. We'll talk about it. But one of my favorite parts of this show actually comes right after the whole promo idea. We have backstage Gia, there our interviewee, or interviewer, I should say, for TNA, and Gia's interviewing Zaya Brookside, right? And then we get Miss Tessa Blanchard, right? As I put right here, Gia backstage with Ariana Grace, not Zaya Brookside, Ariana Grace, and then it turns in to the Tessa show. All right. If you don't know Tessa Blanchard, I know she's got a lot of negativity out there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about her as a wrestler. And honestly, there's very few women in the world that are as good as Tessa Blanchard. And I will tell you, especially on the stick. All right, on the mic, Tessa goes, man. She can go, and she showed that last night. And I love how they're making her out right now. I'm good with this. And honestly, if Tessa is going to keep this type of momentum going, she's not going to be in TNA very long. All right, she's going to be in WWE, and it's going to be fast, and it probably ain't going to be NXT. So just call it what it is. But I thought the backstage stuff was really good. Like I said, turned it into the Tessa show. That's exactly what I have here. But what it did is it led us into NXT appearance. All right, obviously Ariana Grace, but it led us to Cora Jade, and Cora took on Hyan, and honestly, it was okay. I really like the fact that we're pushing Cora. She's getting a lot of action. We saw some good stuff out of her on NXT this week as well. But, I mean, she wins big. We knew that was going to happen. And I like the fact that they are pushing Cora, but they're setting up Cora and Masha Slamovich, the TNA Knockouts champion. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, I don't dislike Cora. I don't at all. I think she has a lot of talent. She is going to get destroyed by Masha Slamovich. All right, I'm just going to call it what it is. There are a lot of people out there that will get destroyed by Masha Slamovich. But if Cora thinks that she's going to go like a death match, hardcore match or something with Masha, it is not going to be a pretty thing. It is not going to be good. So I'm calling it right now. Cora gets destroyed by Masha. What else did we have? Brian Myers, Leon Slater, decent match. I thought the aftermatch stuff with the system was better, but even better than that was what we had interact backstage with Leon Slater, the Hardys coming in. Of course, we were dealing with Frankie Kazarian, with Kaz, and everybody seems to be really pushing for Leon Slater to kind of be with them. Everybody wants to mentor Leon Slater, and who could blame him? The high flyer can freaking go. But the overall match was okay, but the stuff that happened after was much better. What else do we have? Sami Callihan, his crazy ass jumping on. We had the 23 stuff that was going on. Big up. We had the 23 stuff going on TNA last few weeks. It came out that it's Mance Warner. If you don't know who Mance Warner is, check out some of his GCW stuff. He's done some NWA stuff as well. Mance freaking Warner is one of the best freaking hardcore deathmatch guys that you're ever going to see, but he can absolutely go in the ring in a relationship with one of my favorite female wrestlers out there, Steph Delander. Big up, Steph. Great to see you back on TV. Hopefully you're healthy soon. I've had some good interactions with Steph Delander in the last month or so through whatnot, through auctions, and it's really awesome. But great to see Steph, but even better to see Mance Warner. And honestly, Mance and Sami Callihan are going to get bloody. It is going to be nasty, and it's going to be fun, and I'm glad we're going to get it because, guys, I'm a sucker for a freaking death match. I really am. I'm a sucker for, like, Bloodsport with GCW, the Josh Barnett stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Technical wrestling is still my bag, all right? Still love a good tag team match, things like that. But, damn it, if you don't like a good death match, then I can't help you. Now, again, I'm not completely Nick Gage all the time, but I'm okay with a little Cactus Jack here and there, right? So, with Callahan and Mance Warner, that's going to be a fun feud. I'm super excited for that. We had Mustafa Ali and Laredo Kid. Guys, they stole the show. Best match of the week so far. If I gave a match of the week award, which I will on Sunday, all right, if I gave it today, it would go to Mustafa Ali and Laredo Kid. Do yourself a favor and go back and watch this match. All right. Luchador style versus strong high flying style. I mean, Mustafa Ali does his own stuff. And right now, he is getting better and better and better. Mark my word, Mustafa Ali will be back in the WWE this time next year. All right. I'm just calling it right here. He's going to be back in the WWE and he's going to shine. All right. He is doing such great work. And met him a few months ago, and we'll say one of the nicer guys that I've talked to. Super understanding about wrestling fans, too. Very down to earth about wrestling fans. So that was nice to see out of Mustafa. Backstage after that match, Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana. Okay, take my money. You guys know I'm huge on Santana right now. He's doing his best work he's ever done, and I love seeing him do it without anyone else with him. But put Santana right now with Mustafa Ali. Oh my God. TNA is going to put on freaking banger after banger. And I'm good with it. What else did we have? I know I need to kind of rush up a little bit here. Eric Young. They got me. Eric Young turns on Josh Alexander. They got me. I thought Alexander, this was whole play. I was buying into the Steve Macklin stuff. I'm really excited to see where Macklin goes with this with Eric Young. You know he's not going to be okay with them teaming with the Northern Armory. But Eric Young mapped the whole thing out, and it was all awesome to go back against Josh Alexander. They swerved me, and anytime that happens, I'm so happy. Probably my favorite part of the show. Wasn't the best match stuff, but as far as the moments, man, it was great. Another banger, Wes Lee and Ace Austin. Guys, you don't know Ace Austin, guns up again, right? Also, big up Chris Bay. Get well soon. We miss you. Man. But Ace and freaking Wes Lee, they do the thing. Those are two guys that are definitely going to be on WWE Raw and WWE Smackdown soon. They're going to happen. But they had a great match. Wesley goes over. We are setting up Wesley and the Rascals interaction. And you guys know I'm a Rascals guy. I want Zachary Wentz and Wesley to have their go. But at the end of the day, I want to see Wesley versus Trey Miguel one-on-one. All right? Give me that. That will be the best high-flying match we'll see of the year. To now. So overall, great. Joe Hendry's promo. Again, taking all comers. Guys, I'm calling it right now. Joe Hendry will be in the Royal Rumble. All right. Joe Hendry's promo was great. He's taking all comers. He's going to be a fighting champion. That was awesome. And then, honestly, the main event with the Nemeth brothers in First Class. It left room to grow. And Dolph and freaking AJ go at it pretty good. I'm okay to watch that again. I think what this does is it progresses into Nemeth versus Nemeth. I think we all kind of see that writing on the wall. And that's good. I mean, Nick helping out Ryan, too. And, I mean, it can only make both of them better. And hell, family storylines sell. I mean, Brett and Owen. Think about that. Brett and Owen. Family storylines sell. So it left a lot of room. Match was okay. Overall, not bad. Overall, the TNA show, like I said, I scored it a B, a little above average, and I'll take it. So that brings us to SmackDown. All right. I think tonight's going to be awesome. All right, I think it's going to be a fantastic show. Our card's pretty simple. What do we got? I'll get to the main event. We got Naomi taking on Liv Morgan. All right. We definitely going to see both of them in the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. It's going to be good. Kind of interesting to see what vibe we get from Naomi tonight. Rumor has it it's not going to be Naomi. It's going to be the heel turn. Rumor has it it's Bianca. So, but we all know how they like to do us. So we got that match. What else do we got? Carmelo Hayes. I almost said Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Hayes is going to take on Big Jim. All right. Jimmy Uso. Always here for Big Jim. Huge 8-man tag match. We have Pretty Deadly teaming up with DIY. They're going to take on Los Garza and the Motor City Machine Guns. That's going to be fun. I have a feeling it's going to be 3 teams versus the Motor City Machine Guns before it's all over with. And then maybe we get a run in. Maybe we get the Street Profits back. Maybe we see Montez Ford because I hope Montez Ford's in the Rumble tomorrow. So, and then our main event, guys, tonight is we got my girl, Chelsea. All right, Miss Matt Cardona. We got Chelsea taking on Meechin again in a rematch for the United States Women's title. And let me just go ahead and say, Chelsea loses, I riot. All right? Chelsea loses, I riot. And I am going to be pissed off. She deserves this. She's put in the freaking work. All right? So, please, Chelsea go over. All right. Can't wait. Going to be a good show, but it's not going to be anything compared to tomorrow. We will do a Saturday short tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to go down the Rumble. I'm going to recap SmackDown and set the tone for what is going to be the greatest Royal Rumble in the history of professional wrestling. All right. And I will do all our picks and predictions. Guys, shoot me a message. Shoot me some messages. Shoot me an email. Let me know who you're picking. I will put a poll up tomorrow as well. Let me know who you're picking. Let me know who you got. I think you guys know who I'm going to take, but we shall see. By the way, represent Pinta's going to be my man, right? He's not going to win it. He's going to be awesome.